This morning we got everything for our floor system. So we're going with I-Joists. We have a couple LVLs that are going to run the length. The shorter ones for our stairway. And then we have our 3/4 Advantech subfloor. And this is the rim board. So right now we are marking the layout of where the I-joists will go. They're going to be 16 on center, except for one because of our wood stove chimney, which is going to go roughly where those blocks are. So we're just going to have a 24-inch on center opening at that point. So that should be fine. We're gonna double up 2 I-joists at that opening, so we won't have like a huge unsupported gap. Just add that extra support. But we've been marking everything. I already went down this whole length. 16 on center. Just need to finish up that way. We need to finish straightening this wall, needs to come in a little, but we're out of usable turnbuckles. They're all in use in here right now, so we just need to go run and get a few of those, and then we'll be ready to set our rim board, and then we'll put up our I-joists. We have all our walls straightened out and ready for the I-joist. All our interior walls are framed up. We're supposed to get a bunch of rain tomorrow, so we won't be doing much work, unfortunately. And also we won't have our fasteners until the day after tomorrow. We're going to put up our rim board. We'll probably only get to put up one side today. We're going to put it up on this side. It's supposed to rain, but we want to get moving on this project, so I'll put that up.
I'll grab it. Whoops. Okay.
Whoa. Careful.
You be careful. Putting one right in the end here.
Yeah, not too close to the end though. You can probably... We got our first piece toenailed up. It's a toenail every 6 inches on center. Oop, I put the ladder up there.
Uh-oh.
Rim board is on this side, all toenailed, and we cut this so the 2 short ends get a double rim board. So I cut, this is 1 1/8 inch, so I cut 2 1/4 inches off of this one, and we'll run the double rim board on this wall and then the front wall, and we'll leave the other wall open so we can lay down our I-joists, and then we'll be able to cut them. So, but there it is, all done, and now there's going to be a thunderstorm, so we're going to
Go get pizza.
go prepare for that. We got about 1.5 inches of rain last night within a couple hours. We started tacking up our rim board on the back side here. This is a double rim board, so we're just staggering the joints. So the first one is 12 feet, the second one is 8 feet, and then we'll run a 12 to the end and then an 8 to the end. We are attaching second rim board, so we're just putting 2 face nails in from this one into this one, and then we're also toenailing this one. I don't know if toenailing's required for the second rim board, but I think it's probably better to nail it than to not nail it. I couldn't find any details on the manufacturer website about how to nail the double rim board, so that is my best guess, and hopefully it's right, but it feels pretty sturdy, so we should be good. Back rim joist is all nailed up. We have 2 LVLs that are supposed to run the span from that support over 20 feet. They need to be nailed together, and it's going to get very heavy if we nail them together on the ground. So our idea is to nail them together while they're up there. We'll just make sure they're sitting flush and then go through and nail them. So we can lift 1 at a time, but we can't lift 2. So that's what we're going to work on next. And then later today, we're going to lay out our I-joist. We have both of our LVLs up here, and we're gonna nail them together, but we placed 1 up at a time, stacked them on top of each other, and then turned them upright. That was basically the easiest way we found to put them up, because if we had nailed them and then put it up there, I don't know how we would have done that. So this was the best way to do it by hand. I'd go a little closer to the edge if you could. Oh, that's hard.
Forgot to set the depth deeper.
We might need to turn the pressure up for this too. These are very tough beams to nail. Tough cookie to crack.
I just got the glue lam, LVL, whatever you want to call it, all nailed together. And yeah, it's really solid. I was reading online about these, and this is pretty oversized for what we need. It's actually was this size because it had to fit the rim board. So I'm not going to complain about having a stronger beam here, but it looks really good.
We're going to start putting our I-joist up and work our way down, and then we'll snap the chalk line, cut everything, turn them up, nail the rim board on, and go from there. We got the first one up, wasn't too bad. And now we'll work on the other ones. All our 20-foot I-joists are up. Past that beam, they are going to be like 13 feet, and we need to run an LVL intersecting into that beam. So we're going to work on cutting these, and then we'll put the rim board on. But it looks cool. It really, even though there's big space in between, it really seems to like darken it up in here a lot. And it went pretty fast. It probably took us an hour on the ladders moving these, which maybe isn't fast to some people, but I didn't think it took that long.
We just went through and made sure that our I-joists were all flushed up at that end, and now we're going to mark a chalk line down all of these so that we know where to cut them. And then we'll stand them up and hopefully get these in by the end of the day.
Yesterday we started cutting some of these. You can see the shorter ones. It's pretty slow going. We snapped a chalk line, but it didn't really work 100%, so we ended up measuring in to where we need to cut. They're all marked, but we're just going down the line and cutting. So we're gonna finish that up this morning and then move on to the next thing. And then move on to the next thing. I made this jig for cutting the I-joist, but the I-joist that I measured it off of must have been a little bit narrower than all the other ones, so this is kind of loose in here. So what I've been doing is setting it where I want it, and then I have a shim. It's definitely not the best setup, and I just put that in there so it holds it tight, and then just check that it's square. Seems good. Just to hold it a little more. Right on the chalk line that we had snapped, which is the width of the rim board, 1.1 inch. So that should be fine. We had to go get a palm nailer so that we can nail this hanger on. We put a few nails in with the hammer and it was not going well. So hopefully this palm nailer will help us a lot. And then we'll put our LVL this way, and then we will run our I-joists from this plate to the LVL. We're going to put our rim board up, starting here and working our way down. We'll nail the I-joist off. Rim board is all on, so we're going to start nailing our I-joist. We have our short beam cut to length. It's going to run that way, where that strap is. That strap is to straighten this beam, this LVL, which was kind of wonky, and then it also straightened the front wall, so that was cool. So these are the hangers that we're going to put on. These are top mount and face mount. It's like a hybrid hanger, I guess. I don't know. But it's nice because all you have to do is nail the sides on. You don't have to nail through the sides for the I-joist. So that saves us some nailing at least. So we're going to use some 10-penny nails to put these in. And then we'll put the beam up. And there's our beam, and now we just need to nail it to the LVL and then run our I-joist this way.
We're measuring and marking the short I-beams, I-joists, for this section here. We have all our hangers up. We got the first joist put in. Nice snug fit, looks good.
You got it?
Yep. Well, yeah, we got to go. Oh, don't pull it too far. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. That on the mark?
Yeah.
Alright, let me get some glue in here.
That is very tight in there.
We got our first 2 in place. We got 4 more to go.
All the I-joists are up. So we just need to nail everything off to the rim board and the flanges to the top plate. We did a lot of these yesterday. We just need to do like 5 more and then down the line. And then we can begin sheathing. Manufacturer for these recommends just 2 nails in the rim board on each flange, top and bottom. And then the bottom flange, 2 nails, 1 on each side into the top plate. That's just this manufacturer. I don't know, other manufacturers may be different, but that's how we're nailing. And this is like a local, actually I think it's this is a Canadian company. I don't know, honestly not too thrilled with the quality of their product, but that's another story. Rim board is up on all 4 sides. I-joists are all nailed off. So now we need to figure out how we're going to get these sheets up there. So we'll figure that out. But with this, my plan is to cut 16 inches off for the first row, so the sheets are roughly 30 inches wide. And the reason for that is because these are actually 47.5 inches wide. So with this 20-foot run, we would end up short a couple inches at the end. And then we would like have to add blocking and bring the floor up. So I don't want to deal with that. First piece is cut to 30 inches, and now we're gonna put it up there. We snapped a chalk line 30 inches from the edge. So we'll start with that piece, and then we'll go from there. Alright, we've already got 3 half sheets up and we got 4 full sheets. We did the first one from the outside, but these 4 we did mostly with this method, which is not ideal, but it seems like it's the best way to do it. I didn't like doing it from the outside, so we're just gonna kind of spread them. We'll put them in little piles so we can work on the next course. But this at least allows us to move around safely. Well, crawling, but more safely than just walking on a small plank, because you can't walk on I-joists until they're braced, which these are not yet, until we do our subfloor.
putting the glue down to hold our subfloor sheets. You've got to glue them and nail them. Keeps things quiet. This stuff smells like Elmer's glue on steroids, and that is basically what it is.
First row is all glued and nailed, and now we'll start on the second row. Making progress. We're on the second to last row. The last row I'll have to rip down. It's like 20 inches. We also installed these beams in the stairway. They are 3.5 inch by, well, they're supposed to be 11 7/8, but I don't know if they got left in the sun or the rain or something. One side is 11 7/8 and the other side is 12 1/4. So we're gonna see if they sort of shrink back down to size, or else we're gonna have to plane down the tops because they're not level with the rim board. So, and the reason for these beams though is that we wouldn't have a place for our wall to land over the stairway. I've seen different ways that people do this. Sometimes, like on a normal conventionally framed house, they might run like another piece of rim board, but I think this beam is the best way. We talked to an engineer who's a family member, so he recommended doing this. Basically, that will create like a very solid surface. They'll be toe nailed into the top plate, and I think we're going to put timber locks on the bottom through the top plate and then nailed to the rim board. I've seen some people where they just kind of frame up like cripples and then run a plate, but that creates a hinge point at the wall, which would obviously not be a very good thing. So this should be solid. Those beams are really heavy. We cut them and put them up there, and that was not fun, but they're there and we just need to nail them down. Also, it's super hazy because of wildfires in Canada, I guess, again. But yeah, it's been like really like just an off color. You can kind of see the haze over. It's kind of cloudy right now too, but it's crazy. We're working on our last row. It's about 19 3/4 inches, so we have to rip down the big sheets for that. This is what we have left over. We'll find something to do with it. It kind of stinks because it's a whole, more than half a sheet. Alright, this is the last sheet. And after this we are done with subfloor. Just need to trim that little piece. So we need to cut some strips to go around here. But other than that, we're done. Gotta pick up the scraps, obviously. But there it is. Nice to have a solid floor to stand on.